Today, 16th of March, I have officially requested an appointment at the Hôtel de Ville. Let's just call it the police office station to get my codice fiscale in Sardinia. And the codice fiscale is basically sort of like the social security number that we can get in our home country. And that's gonna help me get basically everything from a health card to an Italian phone number. So that's it. It is done. It is launched. It is happening. And the most, not the funniest part is that it's happening the day that literally a year ago, me and my ex-partner received the letter of eviction from our house. So it's been a year of sleeping at people's places and Airbnbs, on people's couches, beds, and never really feeling like home. So I'm not going to say homeless because I've been really blessed enough to have beautiful people around me, from friends to my mom to even my ex-partner, to host me whenever I would want to go to Amsterdam, visit my dog and everything. So, but it's just, I don't know. I found it symbolic. Like yesterday I woke up and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do this fucking codice fiscale because I really need it. And I put it on my to-do list for today. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, wait, 16th of March, I do remember a lot of dates and I have a great memory. Thank you, God. But it just was a reminder for me that it's been a year that you were just hoeing around, trying to, again, going on an adventure to find your next adventure, to find your next home. And even though it looks like pure fun and pure adventure and everything, it is quite exhausting it is exhausting because you're also doubting and you have fears, you have insecurities of, am I making the right choice? Am I making the right decision? And obviously nothing prevents me from just quitting everything again tomorrow and be like, you know what? It's not going to be Sardinia. It's not going to be Italy. It might be Portugal. But I trust that, again, maktub, that God really has it in his book that I am on the right path for now, and that this is really my next adventure. This is really my next journey, and I'm super excited because I've read all the informazioni in Italian and I understood almost everything, and I'm starting to really get a hang of how people speak, the language, the words that they use, the intonation, the pace also sometimes is very fast. And at the same time, people are just genuinely very caring and very patient. And when they see you make an effort, it's like they speak Italian with you, they help you. And I think that just having this for the past few days is enough information for me to tell myself that, okay, this is the right, it's not even like about right or wrong choice, but this is the good thing. This is a good thing. This is a good opportunity for me to just stay here, to be here. And I honestly, compared to Bari in Italy, every day that I wake up, first of all, I just sleep in so much. I think I still have so much sleep to catch up on from last year. And at the same time, I wake up and I'm just like so excited to just go on about my day and to just do things, Whilst I think that when I was in Bari, I was like, all right, when is this day going to an end so I can just move on to the next day and come closer to Sardinia? So yeah, today is a bit of a celebration and a sort of like looking back to this whole year, to 2025, to my dad, like to the start of January 2025 when my dad passed away, to all the events that followed, to the eviction, to adopting a baby doggo, to being sick randomly, to just closing my company, to breaking up with my partner, to leaving the Netherlands, to so many different things. And these are like the more tangible things, but there were also a lot of questioning. Like literally, when I tell you that 2025 was the big slap in my face, like left, right, and center, and the biggest wake up call ever from God, I like, wow, 34 years of life. And now since January, I feel like I'm moving again, like I'm really feeling much better, and I'm just more grateful, more patient towards the steps that I've done, the steps that I've made, and seeing the growth that happened like the past 3 months versus the chaos of last year, where you just don't see the end of the tunnel. You're like, where the fuck is the light, bro? And I think that I'm really finally starting to see the light. And I've been questioning that light, because sometimes we feel like, oh, but I'm getting out of this tunnel and everything has been sorted and everything has been figured out. And actually, none of it has been figured out or sorted. Like I still don't know what it is that I want to be doing as a work project. Let's put it this way. For now, it's really a lot of fun, a lot of experimenting, a lot of playing with the podcast, with the storytelling project, the video project, the presence on social media, the guiding a group of 6-7 women every Sunday for the past 3 months, and really figuring out, okay, what do I like, what do I not like, So it's like, I was thinking about this morning, like baby steps on everything, but it is steps, it is movement, it is responsibility, it is questioning myself, it is questioning also the way I do things and the way I want to do things moving forward. And even though there is excitement, there is less reaction. There is less stress. It's like, I feel like I'm pondering more. I'm taking my time more. And I think that I've always seen taking your time as something that was not weak, but something that was, okay, it takes too much time. We need to go, fast, and just fucking make a decision, and just fucking do it, Whilst now I'm also having a different perspective on hashtag just do it. Hashtag just do it doesn't put any time constraint on what it is that you actually want to be doing. And when I look at this decision I made today of requesting my codice fiscale, I'm like, it feels right, it feels right for me. I don't care if it doesn't feel right to anybody else. I don't care if people don't understand it. And the same sort of like thing goes to my social media presence, my podcast, the way it's going, the portrait series that I'm making, the fact that I'm asking people questions on the street, or the fact that I actually want to make movies and documentaries and everything. I know for a lot of people it doesn't really make sense. And for me right now it just feels right. And the fact that this feels right feels even more right, because I realize that I've been, again, blessed enough to do everything that I wanted. Like, I really did everything that I wanted. And even the things that I didn't want, or like even the things that I didn't do in the past, again, I really trusted that this wasn't my time, that this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And even though this whole sentence of I'm supposed to be doing this maybe puts a lot of pressure, to be honest, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this right now, being in Italy, requesting my codice fiscale, hoeing around, doing those video projects and everything, but it feels right. And this is the first time I think in my life where I do things because they feel right, not out of survival, or not out of, oh, but this is what I'm supposed to be doing, or like this is the logical next step, I think that when I quit Nike in the first place, I really wanted to teach, which I absolutely loved. And I still saw that choice as, okay, we have the choice between 3 things: being a performer, being an organizer, or being a teacher. What do you like right here, right now? Okay, let's just go and do it. And it felt really right at the time. And I loved that journey. I loved being a teacher. I still love being a teacher. And funny enough, again, my mom told me a couple of weeks ago that when I was a kid, I loved gathering people. I loved gathering people and teaching them and sharing stuff with them and organizing things. So I'm like, oh, but it's been here since forever. So the things that people say about looking back into your childhood, does make sense. And moving forward, within that journey, there were a lot of things that I did that I didn't really want to be doing, but I did because they felt like the next step. It felt like it was the right thing to do, and it was the things that, would get me skills. Like in French, we say avoir plusieurs cordes à son arc, which is like you get a lot of strings on your bow, so you can just shoot arrows. And I'm so happy and grateful that I've done things this way, because right now it teaches me a lot about my next thing, about the things that I actually enjoyed during that time frame of being an entrepreneur and having my dance school, but also with being in corporate. Because when I think of it, even in corporate, I loved organizing events. I loved telling stories. So during my internship in human resources, I did that a lot, organizing events and building stories as well, so that people could express themselves. Same thing I did when I was a full-time employee as a recruiter. Recruitment was really, I loved it because it was me asking questions and being so passionate about what people like, about people's journeys, about what makes them who they are, what makes them want to move from their job to the jobs that we were offering, and building connections and putting people in touch, And same thing when I decided to go to digital marketing. Like, it was great to work on the website and everything, but I didn't care about the aesthetics. I cared more about the story, about the journey that I wanted to bring our customers onto, which again is about stories. And same thing with my dance school. I loved teaching steps and choreographies and everything, but what I loved most, again, was to get the stories out of people. And I don't even know why I went into all of this, but a year later, a year after this whole chaotic year, I'm so happy, I'm so grateful to have all these strings, to have all these skills, to have had all of these experience, up, down, failures, successes, fuck-ups, mistakes, and all these kinds of things, because now I get to really do things and make decisions based off of what I feel like doing. And of course, anybody here would be like, yeah, but you need to be rational and need to make logical decisions. Good for people if they want to make logical decisions, but for me, logic doesn't really work, because I feel like there is an element that you remove, which is, again, how you feel, and maybe that's the big thing in our society. It's like we make rational decisions about the next career move, about the next, having kids, or choosing the partner, or choosing a house, buying a house, or whatever. That's all of this is great, but again, we're removing the thing of like, okay, but does that feel right for me? Am I being honest with that decision? Am I being honest with this decision-making process? Do I really see myself committed to that decision that I'm going to be making? And right now, when I think of that codice fiscale, don't even ask me how I went into all of this to go back to the codice fiscale. But right here, right now, this decision about the codice fiscale feels so right. Like my body is so like not stressed, not anxious, not worried, not insecure, not fearful. If anything, I feel freaking excited. And it's just a fucking number that is going to allow me to get like my health card, my healthcare, get access basically to healthcare system, to opening a company here, to opening a bank account, to, as I said, having my Italian number. Like all of this just feels right, And when I think of 10 years later about moving to the Netherlands, and I moved for that internship at Nike and to validate my my master's in human resource management, it was very logical, and obviously I'm very happy that I followed that logic and everything. But I think what I'm saying right now, and with hindsight and having these 35 years of experience, is that I want to bring in more feelings. I want to bring in more sensations into where I want to go, what I want to be doing, because at the end of the day, and that circles back to my dad passing away, is that My mom always said, who cares anyways? It's gonna be like قطنة في ترمتك and you go, you know? And قطنة في ترمتك means you're gonna have like a piece of cotton in your ass. And this is how we bury our people. They're like, she said, il va être emballé comme un bonbon. So he's like, you know, put in a white sheet, and he's like, you have like, just like a caramella, just like a sweets, you know, you put the sweet into a paper and you wrap it from both sides. This is in our tradition, in our culture, how we're going to be, you know, buried is the same principle with a fucking cotton in our ass, in our asshole, because, you know, we don't want the dudes, the worms to eat us. So at the end of the day, for me, it's like really do what feels right for you, regardless of if it makes sense to people or if it's logical or if it's the next logical move or whatever. Like, you're the only person who's gonna live your life. You're the only person who's gonna write your story. And I think that I'm slowly starting to find comfort in that, because for a person who's been always like doing things maybe logically with a bit of feeling, I feel like the ratio is always like 70 or 80% logic and 20% feeling. And now, again, the same way I am less people pleasing and overgiving and all these kinds of things, the ratio is becoming different, where it's like maybe 50, let's be honest, 80% feeling and 20% logic. And I feel like this is how it's going into every area of my life. And I'm really happy about that. I'm really excited because I feel like I'm finding back my, I don't like this sentence, but I will say it, my inner child, for lack of better words. Because when I was a kid, my mom said that to me. So funny that she keeps talking to me about these things, is that when I was a child, I was very much observant, but at the same time, like really very spontaneous, very much, I'm gonna do this, so I'll just go there, even if it doesn't make sense. And she's like, you didn't really make sense to us as your parents, and you didn't really make sense in your choices, but you always followed them. You tried, you switched minds, you changed directions and everything, and look at you now. And she said that she was so proud of me for doing that and not listening to herself. I mean, not listening to her as my mom, because look, 35 years later, I'm still alive and kicking, and I am here in Italy and making choices and making decisions. And when she said that, I couldn't feel more proud of myself, to be honest, because again, I've always had this sense of I'm going to disappoint people if I choose this and this and that. And I've had that even when I closed my dance school, when I said that I stopped teaching, when I said that I stopped everything. Like this whole sense of disappointment to people, I'm like, bah non, en fait. I would disappoint myself if I didn't do it. So, long story short, more feelings, more excitement, more really connecting and reconnecting to the sensations that you feel in your body, because this is never I don't think you'll ever betray yourself when you listen to yourself this way.